Another wonderful Wednesday night sports delight, because this is ladies' night. Oh, and shout out to our favorite viewer. Hi, Miss Williams.
Miss Williams.
Brought to you by none other than Smoooth.
That's whenever you see Joanne, not Joe.
Oh, the alter ego.
Roll now.
Look, I would have had this on if I had known it was going to be that kind of party, but apparently.
And that's just my one excuse to look silly on the sidelines, and I'm totally okay with it because I'm doing my job.
All right, Coach Willis. Well, speaking of
new football fans, you got the Swifties that are all about football, and Travis Kelce's Instagram, I think his followers went up 300,000+.
Telling y'all, when you get on this show on the Ladies Night, boy, I tell you, you are bringing people's careers to a whole nother level. I'm telling you. So weird.
Everyone, welcome to the Platform Sports Talk Show. It's your girl, Buddy. I'm glad y'all are here to join us for another wonderful evening.
And want the teams that want you back, St. Louis. I want that for y'all.
I was like, well, Brandon, does Michelle Smallman text you at 11:45 at night?
Let them know, right? No matter the time, it came through, right?
Yes, I thought that was really dope.
She seems to cause a buzz because you know what? Bad publicity, good publicity, they're talking about it.
So for some of these guys, they're like, even if I do win, it's not going to be enough for some people. So why don't I just go ahead and get the money?
Living the dream. I do it all the time. I'm a dream catcher, right? So I chased the dream and I caught it.
Because I took this crazy leap of faith in May of 2011 at 23 years old to buy a basketball team. And everyone thought I had lost my mind.
Just kind of shed light, women coaches, like, hey, we bring it too. we bring it.
But this year we going 8.
What up, what up, what up? And she said, this year we going at it. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Ladies Night. Hey, it's your girl, Bunny. And appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show, Ladies Night Edition. And happy first of the month. Happy hump day. Happy it's fall, y'all. Happy Turkey Day around the corner, y'all. Happy, I don't want to start hearing Christmas music, but I'm hearing it, and anything else in between. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show. If you are tuning in on Facebook, make sure to leave all comments under the Platform Sports Talk Show page. And if you want to hop on over to YouTube to tune in to us, I'm sorry. Let me go back. If you want to also tune into us on YouTube, Platform Sports Talk Show, subscribe. Because you know what? I need you not just to subscribe, but to what? Click on that bell, baby. Because anytime we go live, your neighbor across the street, your auntie at the other house, kinfolk in another state will be notified. Also, shout out to all our listeners on Hot 365 Radio, where we keep it hot, 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 hot. And I can't forget about people on Twitch. If you want to tune into us, hit us up on watch us on Twitch. Also, it's the first of the month, right? So that means it's the ladies' night. But on the last Wednesday of the month, we got the fellas holding it down on the man cave. Shout out to all the fellas. Had a great show last Wednesday. And they'll bring you another great show the last Wednesday of the month. And without further ado, it's not just me who's on this ladies' night panel. We have some other wonderful ladies like to hold it down and good, entertaining topics, personalities, and all of that in between. Even though I'm on the ill side, my other girls coming all the way from the boondocks. None other than Jobo.
What's up?
I see you're still on your post-Halloween attire.
I had to. Just one more day. We wore these last year, and Mia likes wearing them randomly around the house. So this is Chili from Bluey. Brennan's got Bandit, and last year Mia was Bingo. But these things were cozy. I should have worn this last night because it was freezing outside last night.
Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. One more disclaimer. All that with the Wednesdays and the first of the month, all that, it's Scorpio season. I guess I got to give him a shout out because, of course, our producer falls into that as well. So, and guess who's tuning in? Our faithful viewer and listener. Hi, Miss Dub.
I'm Dubs. Happy Wednesday. Happy first of the month. Woke up with that song in my head this morning.
Did you? Yeah, I just woke up trying to be warm. Like, you got your costume? Man. I'm just saying, I gotta just keep it a little warm. So when I run in and out on the porch, I'm like, let me throw this hoodie on, run into the garage, throw this hoodie on, because it's crazy. I blinked and we were in t-shirts and warm, and all of a sudden put the heat on, fireplace
this
on.
weekend's gonna be like 60s again.
Yeah, it sounds like the typical bipolar weather in Missouri / Metro East, right? Right.
That's how it goes.
I know, right? All right. Oh, what? Miss Dub, you and Fred had the same birthday. All right. So Miss Dub, because who you are, I'll give a shout out to the Scorpio for you, Miss Dub. So, Jobo, we got somebody else that's gonna help us get this ladies' night started off. Your weekday. No, what did she say? It's midday lunch with Miss Chalet. I always mess it up. I listen to it and I don't even memorize it. Shame on me. Dang it.
Oh, can't hear you, Michelet. Can you hear? I can't hear.
No, I can't. Are you muted? Or your speaker's not on? No worries.
Okay, she's working on it. She's in a different room this time. Yeah.
Right.
Who's that? Check your mic.
And sports moms are dope. I know, right? Wait a minute.
All right, while we wait on her, how have you been, Bunny? Like I said, pre-show, I feel like I haven't seen you in a year. So how's life been for you?
Life's been lifing.
Life been lifing.
It's been lifing. Can you hear us? Can we hear you? No, but can you hear? You can't hear her?
She can hear us, but we just can't hear her.
Oh, producer, since you're the whiz. I'm not good at reading lips, but
Me neither.
I'm not
No. I know she said I can hear you, but I don't know what the heck she's saying. All right, it's her device or CPU.
Okay. Well, since life's been lifing for me, what about you, Jobo?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit of the same. It's been super busy lately. Me and Brennan just. Oh my gosh! Say it again.
Check, mic check.
Woo!
I hit the wrong button. All right. Okay. I'm back. Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me let you. What happened? I like.
No, I was just. Thank you. No, just saying. Me and Brendan celebrated 9 years of marriage on the 25th, so that was cool. And then we just been doing all kinds of kid Halloween stuff, the last couple weeks, and I guess that's just what it's like whenever you have a kid. You gotta try to keep them busy. So that's what we've been doing. I woke up Sunday morning and I breathed, and my neck was hurt, so I've been sore lately. I'm the youngest one on the show, and I have a lot of aches, pains. All right, I'm telling you, I woke up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't move. Like it hurt so bad."
You have young kids, okay? Enjoy that while you can because they grow up.
Yeah, I'll say that, but man, the energy level, baby.
Though, Brendan was just saying this a couple days ago. Is us growing up, I don't remember having to depend on my mom and dad to keep me entertained 24/7. Mia wants us to do something with it 24/7. I'm like, bro, I need to take a break. Like my knees hurt, my back hurts, and it's like I need to get a sip of water real quick or go to the bathroom. And then she's like,
"Are you sure you just don't remember doing all the same things she did?" Because
Michelle, you know what that sounds like? Mia's ready for her playmate in house.
Hell no. Listen. I remember playing. Yeah, I know. I remember playing, and days are different. I feel like 90s kid was probably the best kid you could be growing up, and I just remember playing just about every single sport possible in the front yard and the street with all your friends, and I don't know, Pokemon cards were big and Pogs were big, and you know what I'm saying? Like
I grew up in the 80s as a kid, so I was outside a lot. We drank out of water hoses. I played in dirt. I was a tomboy growing up. My dad fished a lot. I helped dig worms out the ground.
Inside the house smell like outside.
I love being outside. I rode horses with the neighbor up the street. Nobody was worried about me getting hurt. I got thrown off a horse at 13, 12, I think. Actually 12. Yeah. Got right back on.
Still here.
I'm good. I was like, I knew better. I knew what time it was, but just certain things, that nowadays we're like not letting our kids do. Like, oh my goodness, they might get a scratch. So.
Oh yeah. Oof. And my husband's the worst about that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want my baby to get hurt either, but I think he gets it from his mom. But oh my gosh, like if she stands up, is she okay? Is she okay? And I'm like. She's
no blood, no foul. Let's keep it going. That's what I
look. They're gonna grow up really fast. I think both of you have young kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 22-year-old, right? So I don't know what happened and how my 22-year-old just got 22 and now he's out the house. He's been deployed. He's on his assignment for the National Guard. He's gonna be gone in like 13 months. He's excited. I'm still looking at him like, where'd my baby go? Right? Excited about that. First off, shout out to all the veterans. I know Veteran Day is coming up this month, and he's not technically a veteran. They just had National Deployment Day, so dealing with that, trying to be happy he's gone, but also I feel like when your kids go away from school, you kind of deal with that whole transition. You're trying to figure out things and you start to feel a little old. And then the 13-year-old, he's to that point where it's like, Mom, not that he's saying it, but I could tell sometimes he just is like, okay, I'm around my boys, what you doing over here? I used to be on my lap all around me. So, and I'm a boy mom, so I don't have any girls. So I don't, that loving you get, enjoy it while you can. Cause when they get boys, they give you hugs and they want to be around you, but they don't love on you like they do like girls do forever, I hear. So
No, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we were just literally just talking about this like last night laying in bed. Like I don't want her to grow up because like these are, like my aunt, for example, brings her son out with us or tries to get him to still come out with us to do these like Grant's Farm things that, we do for the holidays. But he's a sophomore in high school and he's just like fed up with it. He just doesn't care about doing that stuff anymore. It's not that. Like, I like bringing her out and doing stuff like that. And we always say we're going to miss whenever she's a teenager and asking us to play with her. But right now, we've been on the go for a bit, okay? Like
you're gonna love every aspect of the progression to where they are, and I remember every aspect of him going to 22 to 13. But I look back at pictures, and I'm like, dang, where'd your little big head self go? Even though your head's still big, you just had a little body. But why? Where are my babies at? I don't have. And it'll make you think about it again too. I don't know if y'all.
She said hell no, but she's gonna do it eventually.
It's gonna happen eventually, but I want to I finally started losing weight after having Mia. I don't want to gain it all back and be all gross and whatnot right away.
It's a trade-off.
I call it, and that was one of the things when I thought about having another baby. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it right after 40 because I'm gonna kick it for my 40s, and then I'm gonna do it right after 40. Because I waited so long to think about it. I'm like, I have a plan. I want to have a nice 40th because I knew it was coming up. And then the summer came and then another, but that same thought process, like it's a good 2 years to like wean them to like, at least to get away from you a little bit. That first 2 years and that body change as a woman, I can let you know like, whew, yeah, that's the struggle. That's one of the things, a lot of people think about,
I know I could do better, but I accepted it. And my husband, like, he liked the extra fat rolls. I'm like, I don't, but hey,
love the fluffiness, enjoy it, embrace it.
I don't know. I'm just like, I mean, because you outside looking in, I do look the same, but then certain angles, it's like people raise their eyebrows. I just got fat rolls.
You gotta suck it in real good,
girl. And use the Spanx and stuff. I'm like, it's still. And he's like, what you need Spanx for? All because you small. I said, this flinging over my waistline, man. I'm trying not. It don't look cute when I want to wear certain dresses. I'm still trying to live 10 years ago, trying to keep that figure in my head, not in person, but in my head. Like, oh, you can wear that dress. Yeah, no, I can't.
As you get older, the kids, you enjoy them. They change your body a little bit. They change your mindset. You're a little sleepy. Obviously, you're sleepier. Even now, I'm running. I can't keep up. As a 13-year-old, I don't even know how to keep up with him. He is all over the place in sports. And it's about to be summer, so I'm just holding on for the ride. Okay, where are we going this weekend? What are we doing this weekend? What game we got? What? Okay, yeah.
Real quickly, the trade-off I'll say, because I'll tell somebody, I'm sitting there still got to feed one of my daughters, and you're sitting there eating uninterrupted. And it's the difference because you got to do this all the time. It's like, I would love to just sit here and eat. I can't because I got to feed her, me, her, and you can just eat. And they were like, you can't just get in the car and go because you have to put them in the car seat. Your child can get in there and go. I said, in cold in the wintertime kind of now or cooler, got to give the coat, hat, where you don't have that part. I do, but then people like, they grow up so fast. I'm like, it's trade-off because you're enjoying your food interrupted. You're enjoying using the bathroom. Nobody keep knocking on your door.
First off, no, I don't get to enjoy my bathroom without someone knocking on my door because, Mom, boy, I'm in the bathroom. Can I just get 5 minutes? What do you need? What do you want? And listen, no, they can do things on their own, but they still they want things. My son will drive me nuts. Mom, answer the phone. Mom, I'm at work. What do you need? I'm at work. Can you tell me where you put the no, you know what? I'm at work and that was not important for me to text you. You drive me nuts. Mom, I'm in the bathroom, son. What do you need? Well, I just wanted to know, this random questions about nothing. A lot of randomness about nothing. My dog, I can't even go to the bathroom without my dog. So I don't get privacy. I got dogs and I got teenagers. My 22-year-old still acts like a teenager. Even though he's at the house now, but again, that's what you're going to get. Mom. They just talk louder, and it doesn't sound like a baby anymore. You're still going to get all of that.
It's that Stewie commercial from a while ago. Mom, mommy. What?
Yes.
Hi.
Yep.
That's all he did. All he wanted to do
That's
was say hi.
That's it. Oh, I was just checking to see where you were. Boy, you
Oh,
watch me
that's
walk
so
up in
funny.
this
My
room.
cheeks started laughing. You would have been on the run. I wasn't expecting that. That was funny.
Them kids, let me tell you, they're never gonna leave you alone. You're gonna stop feeding them, and then they're gonna want to know what you're eating. What are we eating? What are you cooking? What can I have? Mom, mommy, mama.
I know. I'm about to bring it up. Next panelist, she's gonna be like, "What was y'all talking about?" She's like, "I didn't hear nothing sports." I'm like, "Hey, life, right?" But she has other kids because she is a PE teacher and a world-class women's basketball coach. Without further ado, come on down, Coach Willis.
Hey y'all,
What up?
how's it going?
Hi.
Let's go. We were just over here talking about kids and how we love them, but they drive us crazy.
I've heard.
You have them too. You have basketball players and your students, so please do tell.
Yes, I do. But yes, I do. But I do come home to a quiet house, so I don't. I only come home to myself. So I'm able to come home to some quietness. So hi, Miss Williams. But yeah, no, I've heard the rants for sure. So I'm sure when that time comes, I'm sure I would go through the same thing. But especially that's also the hard thing, being a teacher, being around kids all day and then coming home to kids. I'm like, I bet that's going to be quite the.
No kids yet?
No kids yet.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Nope.
It's gonna be fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. I love every minute.
Oh
of it.
yeah, no, I'm not down that at all. As my parents would say, like, "Oh, enjoy your time alone right now."
Yes.
Anytime. Enjoy it. Soak it in. Embrace it. Remember it. Somehow bottle it up.
Yes. Take a lot of pictures of that time alone in the clean house.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I mean, and I didn't take it as a joke, but I'm like, okay, all right. I'm sure when I do have kids, I'm probably gonna remember that conversation my mom gave me. Like, remember I said to enjoy your time alone. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Well, you may think it gets old after a while. Trust me, when you're telling, you gonna be like, I see what my mom was saying now. Like Miss LA broke it down. The time that you take for granted.
I take her advice pretty seriously, so I'm like, all right, I should take this one lightly. So no, that's for sure.
So, since I've been sipping a little bit, but it's just only a kid beverage, what is in your cup, Jobo? Y'all spoke one up.
Shoot. You know what? I know we're going to talk about City SC in a little bit, but then I guess, first off, I hate this. It is 9 o'clock. It was like the game didn't start till 9:30 on Sunday night.
Oh.
And I understand that you're trying to get every single game in, but 9:30 on a Sunday night, and I think that's the same thing this Sunday as well. So that sucked. And it would have been awesome to be there, but it was raining and it was freezing, and they played awful. So I don't know. It's funny because I'm kind of nervous, but I also did not think they're going to be where they were. I mean, where they are right now. Winning their conference or division or whatever, but. MLS needs to get that figured out because there's not that many games going on where we got to watch 9:30 on a Sunday night. That's brutal.
That's bedtime.
Right.
Exactly.
And then with Kansas City, who our opponent is, I'm like, okay, maybe for their fans, they're in Central Time like we are. It makes no sense. They can make sense. That's what we should be saying. They can make sense. So, okay. All right, well, hopefully your cup gets better next Sunday. Hopefully they pull out a win and go sing a little City SC, right?
Yep.
And warmer weather, drier weather.
Like I said, it's supposed to be a little bit warmer this weekend, so that'd be nice.
Got you. All right, Miss Chalet, what is in your cup?
Literally Tito's.
Oh wow. Thank you for your honesty.
I know, right? Let's see. Look, I wish I had a real short one too, I guess. What did I see this week that was interesting? So the Colorado Buffaloes got their jewelry stolen out of their locker room. Which I would say, I don't know if players need to be bringing those type of items to games, maybe little earrings or necklaces. But when you have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of expensive jewelry being stolen, I mean, who's at fault? I know that you're supposed to have your stuff safe in a locker room, but who's really at fault? Deion's trying to get the, I guess, not the league, but the NCAA to pay for it. Not the he's trying to get somebody high profile to pay for it. Like they should have accountability. I don't know if there's insurance for those type of things, but that's in my cup. The whole Dwight Howard situation, I'm kind of tossed up about that. I'm like, wait a minute, what did I hear this week? Dwight, what do we got going on? But I do like his rebuttals. Like, what I do in my bedroom is my personal preference, and I'm just gonna do what I do. So that's in my cup.
Lord, that's been like the longest week or something because that feels like that happened a year ago.
What, Dwight Howard?
Yeah. Did you see the TikTok I put in the chat? It was so funny. Oh my God.
Did it get resurfaced because of the lawsuit that's out or something?
I don't know. I was reading the article. I'm like, who's Kitty? I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, what? I didn't get the name. Wait a minute now.
You have to read it. I'm not going over the whole situation, but I was just like, Dwight, I get it. So he's got some sexual allegation charges against him. But the fact, a lot of the details are trying to come out, and I'm like,
it's just too specific for one of them that I glanced across. I'm like, whoa.
And people, I think who was it? Boosie this week was like, you need to just go ahead and tell everybody what's going on. Why? Anybody else that has any type of similar situations like that, you ain't asking what they doing in the bedroom. I don't care what type of scenario it is. I let you live your life. I'm hoping the allegations, you figure that out, right? Obviously, he says it's not true. Figure that out. But I don't really care what he has going on in his bedroom. Do what you do and play basketball. I just hope it doesn't affect, obviously, where he's trying to go and what he's trying to do. I was kind of listening. Who was it? Mace was saying some things. Like, I think that's the reason why he wasn't picked up by certain teams. Or some teams kind of knew or they've heard certain things. But, at this point, I don't know. I was just kind of like, wow, okay. The details are very specific here.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't read any specific except one. That's why I said when Joe Ball said it was from last year, I think another lawsuit came out, or it's sunshine law. People with I don't know. I don't even.
I'm just saying, like, I felt like I heard that news so long ago already.
Well, they were commenting
a week old.
that his ex was like trying to explain or let people know a long time ago about his preferences, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, if he plays ball well, he plays ball well. I don't care. I just, I hopefully he clears up all these allegations because, he's still a heck of a player. So,
is he still playing in China right now? Excuse me.
Shoot, I don't even know.
No, okay. Because he was getting roasted last year. Real quickly, he was getting roasted last year, or maybe not roasted. Some former players, whoever, was making fun because he's playing in China. He's trying to recruit somebody else, but they're paying the man. It's not NBA money, but it's still money.
So who's roasting him? So that's crazy. He's getting paid probably high dollars to go play in China. You get roasted because you're playing in China, but somebody else ain't playing nowhere or on the bench somewhere or doing. I can't stand when I hear somebody talking about, oh, well, you playing over there? He's playing.
And he's not out there committing the crime. So who's he hurting? Playing? Somebody want to see his entertaining somebody, right? Right.
Yeah.
Coach Willis, what we got going on in your cup, honey?
Well, high school basketball just started this week, so I feel like around this time, I get like all my news on like social media. If I log on Twitter, so like everything you guys said, heard about it, and yeah, my cup has been just getting ready to start the season. Made teams today, and we start like our first official practice tomorrow with our teams. So it's kind of been in my cup, trying to, basically just changing gears, going from, working 8:20 to 3:30 to now working 12-hour days. So just making the adjustment. That's pretty much been going on in my cup. So, just gearing up for the season. So it's going to be a good one. This is probably like the least favorite time for me at the start of the season, just getting through. It's just such a slow process, like tryouts, evaluating, and then just after a while, like the kids, they get tired of like practicing against each other, and they're just ready to just like, all right, we want to bring that on to the competition. So just basically just gearing up for basketball season. That's what's been in my cup.
I got you, ladies. It seems like everybody has a full cup.
Yeah.
So look,
I don't even want to think about the full schedule because I get it. It's trying to find time to sleep.
Oh, I find time to sleep.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I make sure. I mean, I teach elementary PE, so I'm with 5-year-olds to about 12-year-olds, and then I go and coach high schoolers. I got to find some time to sleep.
definitely sound like you need a stunt double, honey. We probably all need a stunt double.
Yeah, if it was possible, yeah, but that's just, unfortunately, that's not how life goes. Joe, your pajamas or onesie, whatever you want to call it, like we had pajama day today. I didn't wear pajamas to school, obviously, but it was pajama day. We had all kids, even my high school, even my basketball players had on pajama pants today during tryouts, whatever. But yeah, you're giving me like pajama day vibe. You must have heard something through the grapevine that we were having pajama day.
They're
She
so
should have gave the
cozy.
memo out because I would have put my onesie on too.
I just figured, I mean, these things are always out because I was telling Bonnie earlier that my daughter wants to wear her costume from last year a lot. And so that means mom and dad have to put their costumes on from the Bluey show. And they're very cozy. And I should have worn them last night because it was freezing last night. And like Mia wanted us to be him a zombie, me a witch. And my hat flew off before we even left the driveway. It was so windy and cold and should have went back to chilly.
Yeah, all we did, we passed out the candy. We stayed warm for Halloween. You did a good job passing out we didn't have any trick-or-treaters either. I guess because it was so cold, I guess.
We barely had any either. We weren't trying to trick or treat. My son went out, but what's crazy is 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys, they've gotten to the point of ice cream, I just want candy, right? When they go out because they don't wear costumes no more. I'm looking at them, and apparently I had the hub yesterday. My son had let all his little teenage friends know, like, hey, we're gonna meet up at my house and we're gonna cruise our neighborhood. I'm like, I got parents calling me. I'm like, you organize this. First off, this is not a parent sanctioned event, but apparently it's my house. So, okay, you guys can come meet here. I don't, I really didn't want a whole lot of people in, but I let them, hub here. They went out and I'm looking at them after the fact because I didn't really see them before they went out. And, they give me hugs on the way out. I'm like, well, where's your costume? You don't wear a costume? I'm like, he's like, no. I said, you got candy? He's like, yeah. I'm like, y'all just didn't care, huh? Knock on this door and get my candy. I'm like, okay. So these teenagers they're just over it. They're like, you know what? We know what this is about. We don't need no costume, but we about to get some candy. Okay. So
that's exactly what it is.
I'm like, can you maybe wear your football uniform, your basketball uniform, be a player, switch it up, do something. So no, but yeah, his little football team and some of his basketball team players, they all went out and yeah.
Well, who didn't have a happy Halloween was Coach McDaniels from the Las Vegas Raiders. So we can talk real quick about our week 9 takeaways. And I know Michelle keeps up with it too because she's a fantasy player. I'm not, but chime in if you will, honey. Let's see. Ooh.
Real quick, I say something about Michelle's team. I thought about you this weekend when Josh Allen got hurt. How you doing?
Josh Allen did okay for me. The rest of my team did not, but I was playing against Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and they killed me. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's the deal. So I mean, I was a Cowboys fan when Zeke was there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a Cowboys fan because I'm a player fan. I had to show support for St. Louis. Then he left, and Zach wasn't doing his thing. And then I had to play the team this week that had Zach as I'm sorry, I keep calling him Zach. Dak as the quarterback and CeeDee Lamb. And I don't know, he just kept, CeeDee Lamb. He ended up with like 46 points against me on my fantasy team, and I lost this week. So I'm not too happy about all that. So.
I got you.
Yeah. So.
Real quickly, Miss Williams said no trick-or-treaters since before the pandemic. She thinks it's due to lots of events for kids and fewer kids in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe the next generation will get them a little bit older and they'll come back in droves again.
Isn't that right? I didn't expect Kansas City to lose this weekend.
Yo, none
That
of
was
us did
bad.
actually. I actually watched that game. I was like, but I was getting happy for Russell Wilson because they dogged the Broncos so badly.
Man,
But I was like, Russ, finally, like, yes, this is what we need to be seeing from you and your offense.
That's like their first win against the Chiefs since like 2019 or something, which is crazy.
as
But yeah,
much
that
as
was
I
bad.
wanted Russ to win one, I didn't want it to be this weekend.
I know Patrick Mahomes still gonna hold it down. Y'all know the Chiefs going to the play. I don't have them in the Super Bowl. We did our alerts earlier, but
Patrick had the flu. He just didn't pull out that Michael Jordan-esque play with the flu. So.
But it takes 4 quarters though, not just a little one. Like, oh, come back. No, overtime. But they did try in the third quarter, try to start their comeback. But yeah, the Broncos defense actually showed up because real quickly, when people were dogging the Broncos when they got their assets whooped a couple weeks ago, like 70 to whatever, I said that's not Russell Wilson because he's in offense. Yeah, I try to keep it rated PG, So that defense was horrible. I was like, look that way. Don't look only on Russell in the offense. The defense sucks. So maybe they're finally getting it together. It's week 9. We have 9 more weeks, so you never know. Anything can happen, right?
A lot of football.
Any other games that stood out to y'all that y'all watched on Sunday or at least kept up with fantasy?
I'll just say that the Bengals finally woke up a little bit, and the 49ers have lost like 3 in a row or something. So, but at least they made moves at the deadline, so they'll be fine. But, yeah, I'm happy because I love Joe Burrow and I like the Bengals.
I like the Bengals uniform, that white on white, baby. Oh, them suckers is bad. Black and white, basically. Forget the orange, just the black and white. That that catches my attention. I'm like, those uniforms is high. Let's see. Anybody else fly? Eagles fly.
Oh,
Eagles, yeah. Eagles doing their thing.
Guess we could talk about Kirk Cousins also now has a torn Achilles, which sucks, and that's just depressing because I feel like Kirk Cousins is probably one of the most likable people in football, and now he's just same thing with Rodgers. Which when's the last time you heard of 2 quarterbacks tearing an Achilles in the same year? That's wild to me.
Well, look, we didn't want to ever hear that for 2 notable quarterbacks in the same season because it's sometimes good every time when they're actually good and competitive. But the Jets beating the Giants, that's probably not a surprise, but it's not fair for the Jets. We really can't. We've seen some of what they would have been, but if Rodgers was there, I still think we see a different Jets team. But you gotta get what you can give. Of course, good old Patriots still looking like before Tom Brady Patriots, just sucking, just horrible.
Poor Patriots. Okay.
I mean, not poor Patriots per se, because I ain't a Patriots fan like that, but
don't say poor Patriots.
No, I'm
them
good.
Fans have won enough in their life.
Sarcasm.
Okay.
So go back to the Vikings. They did get a new quarterback, Josh Dobbs, I think this week. They're kind of mid-range and trying to get into the playoffs and things of that nature. I think they're 4-4, so they really needed to find a critical quarterback with Kirk Cousins out. So they just signed a new quarterback this week. Josh Dobbs. I don't know.
I think he was just playing this weekend with the Cardinals, which they almost made that game against the Ravens interesting. But I don't know. Other than me and Fred's Detroit Lions, look at them. Winning ball games. It's weird. I don't think once in my lifetime that I've paid attention to football that the Lions have been good. So this is weird to see, not gonna lie.
My dad just texted me and said that it's all about Hurts and the Eagles. Nothing else matters.
I have a few friends that are all about the Eagles. I'm rooting for them too. As long as they're not playing against me in fantasy football, I'm good.
We shall see. Do y'all want to see what the standings are? Other teams?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so it's looking like we knew. Well, y'all not picked Philly to go back to the Super Bowl. So NFC East, I'm not surprised. Dallas, of course, would be close. We still, like I said, have 9 more weeks. But for the NFC South, that's crazy. No team is above 5. Well, 2 teams are at 500, and then you just got Carolina. Goodness, that's interesting. NFC North. The Detroit Lions, y'all. I mean, you know, they put on a good show against the Raiders, but hence why, like I said, their coach didn't have a happy Halloween. The Raiders coach, Nick Dales, got fired, but the Lions were looking good before even Monday's game. Like, they've definitely turned that ship around. And at first, when they did the trade a couple years ago with Goff and Stafford, I just looked like Detroit still was going to be bad years after. But now they're actually good and competitive. I think a couple people are surprised with Green Bay only having 2 wins. That I didn't see coming. They got the young quarterback. It's not just on him, clearly, but I just thought that overall team, that receiver corps would have done better. But the Bears being 2-6, no surprise as usual. They like being at the bottom. Football, baseball with the Cubs for the most part. Blackhawks lately, they just like being at the bottom, you know?
My son this week was asking my husband, who's that young coach on the field? We're like, that's not a young coach. Justin Fields just got on the bench. Okay. I'm like, wow.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, God. And, in NFC West, Seattle being 5-2 and San Fran 5-3. I'm not surprised. Actually, Seattle I thought wasn't going to be as good as they are now, so I am a little surprised at that. But I'm happy the Rams don't have a 500 record. You know, I'm still bitter because they left because of Kroenke. And Arizona Cardinals, another former St. Louis team as well.
This is what happens when you leave St. Louis. There you go.
Exactly what you get. So look, people hopefully they forgot the Rams got a Super Bowl just 2 years ago. Hope people forget that. Even though the St. Louis Rams got a Super Bowl before the LA Rams, here nor there. Moving on to the AFC side of things. Look at the AFC East, y'all. That is competitive. Miami with Tua actually getting to show what he can do, no injuries. Buffalo being competitive, even though I thought Buffalo actually would have been better than Miami right now. But just still above 500 without Aaron Rodgers. That's actually pretty good. Again, we don't care about the Patriots, right? So they belong where they are, right? Right. Oh, AFC South. Any of these people? Let me see. Jacksonville. I told y'all last year Jacksonville was on a come up. I told y'all because they barely got in the playoffs last year. I'm like, they're getting better. And look at them leading their division. So definitely shout out to them. Now, the other people in the division, y'all, that's horrible. Nobody's above 500 except one team. That's crazy.
It's the NL Central of the football.
But look at the AFC West. They're just the same thing. Yeah. One team above 500, which is the Chiefs. Everybody else, that's crazy.
So that's the NL Central and the AL Central.
Okay.
Baseball-wise.
Right. And AFC North, that's too competitive. Everybody's above 500. So the person in the last place, Cleveland and Cincinnati, are above 500. It's actually three-way tie with Pittsburgh, too. 3 teams above 500 all time. That I know no one saw coming at this point of the season. We're at that basically the halfway mark here. So, but shout out to the Ravens. I'm picking them to go all the way. So hopefully Lamar Jackson and his crew don't let me down.
You're going with the Ravens?
Yes, ma'am. I picked them all the way, honey.
Okay.
I hope I'm the crazy one that eventually will show up and like I told y'all.
Miss Duds, I always liked the Bengals playing Madden against my brother because their walls were always like, the print. It was always really cool. It looked like a jungle in their stadium.
Mm-hmm. Now look, even Miss Williams knows something's wrong with NFC South. She said it looks sad. Well, if you say Mahomes has the flu, that caused him to have a bad weekend, I guess. Y'all giving him an excuse, but okay.
I'm not necessarily giving him an excuse.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there we go.
Dubs,
yeah, you're right. Denver wasn't there. Do you know how petty the Denver Broncos were, though?
I'm clocking out.
The Denver Broncos were so petty after that loss. They played one of Taylor Swift's songs. I can't remember which one it was, but they were like, "Okay,
shake it off." Was it "Shake It Off"? I think.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
But yeah, she wasn't there. She had been there. They may have won. I don't know.
You see that stat during the game though, like with her in the stands, Travis Kelce has like however many yards and touchdowns, and then without her in the stands, it's like a lot less.
I guarantee you they have bets in Las Vegas for Taylor Swift odds for Travis Kelce and Kansas City Chiefs. That's just how they roll.
I'm sure they do. They got some of the weird, like, what commercial we're gonna see during the Super Bowl. They got bets for that stuff. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past Vegas.
It's
They're in
enough
Germany this week.
storylines. They don't need to keep this Taylor Swift Kelsey thing up. There's so many other NFL storylines we could be talking about. Like, that's overkill, personally.
Nah, they're gonna hold on to it while they can milk it.
Anything to get
That's
ready.
entertainment. It's just, the world, the way the media works, it's just entertainment. They just find something interesting to talk about. If it brings in likes and it brings in clicks and it brings in this, they're going to put it up.
Yep.
Okay.
And you got the Taylor universe. What are they called? The Swifties?
I think Brittany's a Swiftie, aren't you?
No, I'm not a Swiftie, but I don't know, my students, they like Taylor Swift. They be like, Miss Lewis, can you play Taylor Swift? I'm like, I don't have it on my playlist because I have like a PE playlist, and today's music, you got to preview certain things. So I'm like, I got to make sure it's school appropriate. Like, no, but I have colleagues who are, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not a Swiftie. Sorry, I'm not hating on her. Hey,
you used to love her back in the day when I was in high school. Like when she was country, because I love country music, and then even the beginning of her pop career. That's fine. But now she's over here doing Taylor's version of every single album she's made. And that just annoys the hell out of me. But we talked way too much about Taylor Swift on the last ladies' night. I don't want to do it again. Nope.
Look, Joe, you was about to go on. You was about to go.
I know. I could go
rant.
on and on about T-Swizzle, and I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to do it. She annoys me.
Look, tell me how you really feel.
Oh, you know how I feel.
Right. Well, so we can get off the NFL and go to college football. What are your takeaways and the top 25 teams? Anything caught your eye or anything? Let's see.
That's y'all. Y'all know I don't really pay attention to.
Well, Mizzou had a bye week, but I'm happy that they are in the highest rank they've had since 2014. They're at number 14 right now.
They got a big game this week.
Heck yeah, against number 2 Georgia.
Big game this week. Yes, number 2 Georgia. That's a big.
That's what I'm gonna ask y'all. How did they go down 1 and Ohio State surpassed them in 1 week? Like they both won. So how did that happen?
Inquiring minds kind of want to know, but there's
the AP writers are in their feelings. Or somebody pay somebody to say, "Hey, just move them down a notch, just because," and then they try to beat Mizzou and then go back up a notch. Is that what we're doing? Just curious.
Yeah.
I don't know if they beat Mizzou. I don't know if that would really catapult them.
Well, I don't think because they're higher ranked, Mizzou lower ranked. On top of the competition Georgia's seen is different than Mizzou's seen. I'm not discrediting Mizzou because all 4, but they rolling. They offense is popping. What we thought that we think we should have saw last season, we're definitely seeing this year.
The man behind the scenes said Ohio State had better victories, which I agree. The teams that Georgia played that they should have beat like out of the waters, they didn't. So I can definitely see like why they probably got it too. But again, I don't make the rules.
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting you don't hear Alabama on the screen and see them on ESPN and other media outlets as much. You see them as always, but not because they're not number 1. Because Saban's name was said so much that you swear he was president of the United States. But you don't hear it as much now because they're not as highly ranked. And I know they had a loss already, they had a couple close calls. It's just funny because for the last umpteen years, we've been hearing Alabama all the time and not Georgia, let alone Ohio State we have.
But now you got those NIL deals, and that kind of plays a big role in decision making. So right now, like Georgia's like they have the hot hand right now. But yeah, those NIL deals can break or make these athletes' decision. If one school is not going to be accepting on the NIL deal, but the other school, like they're going to go with the biggest bidder. So
yeah,
that's what's unfortunate. College athletics has always been a business, but it's now like it's more than that. And now you're dealing with politics. Like it's just, it's a lot. Don't get me wrong. I want my back pay, minus the politics side of it. Yeah, I do. I really want to know, like, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to file that on my taxes? I don't know, but I sure would like some back pay. And I've said that the last time I was on this show, maybe 2 months ago, I want my back pay. I'm just being a broke college athlete sucks. Okay, you can't work.
Yeah, I love that they're giving the athletes, the outlet to make some money and they have choices. It's also, I think, keeping the athletes in school longer. We're getting more athleticism. When I look, Caleb Williams. Hey, what do I need to go to the league here for? I'm making more money over here. Same thing with Angel Reese, LSU. She's like, what do I need to rush to the WNBA for? I'm making so much money down here. So,
well, then you also see, like, not with all of them, but like it's hard for some of them to follow their success after college to the professionals, and not saying that in a negative way, like they're great athletes, but it's just like, and I mean, I don't understand. I just played all 4 years in college. I didn't go professional afterwards. So I don't understand it. But like you do see that with some athletes, like fantastic college career, like, and then, when they turn pro, it's just like, it's tough. I mean, I just feel like playing a professional sport in general is hard.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard. That's why I respect like what they do, but like it's easy for them. It's like it's easy for them to make that household name at a college, and then like with professionals, like you're sharing the limelight with multiple star athletes, versus like being the man on campus. Now you're sharing the whole light with these professionals. But yeah, it makes sense for them to stay in school because they'll make more money. And like I said, if you're not a big time athlete with a big household name, if you don't have major sponsorships, you don't make a lot of money. Like for instance, the WNBA, those women, they don't make a whole lot of money. Their money comes from endorsements. And if I was in that same situation, I'll stay in college too because I'll make more money.
Because you also too have to think about how many times an athlete, even before the NIL deals, went to a professional level and it didn't last and they didn't make the money. Now they're being able to make it when they're on a good platform, or even just kids that wouldn't have made money before or made it to the NFL or WNBA or wherever it is, whatever professional sport it was, they're able to make money now, give them a platform to start something when they get out of college.
Right.
Whether, so it's kind of like, you starting off with a little a business plan, right? Okay, if you keep your money right, you understand it, you'll be able to do something if you don't go professional with it, whatever that sport is. So
I want back pay.
Put it on the t-shirt. Hashtag I want back pay.
Make that t-shirt.
I want back pay. I'm telling you, it's not.
And then start warning to all your game, but you're on the sideline. If it's just gonna go viral, then they're gonna investigate. They're like, okay, she's do it.
Look, I love what I do. I'm a teacher, but that back pay can help.
I hear you. I feel you. I understand.
Also put on there like hashtag pay teachers more. Okay, I'm done.
Ooh, now they don't want that discussion, honey.
Y'all put up with a lot. We don't even. We can have that discussion because what y'all have to deal with. I was a substitute teacher for about 4.5 seconds, and what I saw and what I dealt with in some of these schools, especially in North County, and
it's it's tough. It's crazy. Like I hate to say this, but like sometimes, like I said this recently. I'm like, what I know now. And I love what I do. I love being in education. This is my 7th year, this is my 7th year teaching. And I guess I must have started like at a decent time. I mean, I was impacted with COVID earlier in my career, but like, what I know now, I probably would have looked into something different with inflation going up. I mean, just, Missouri's like one of the, states that don't pay teachers a whole lot. So like if you're a first year teacher coming into this, it's hard to make a living out of it. It versus all the stuff that you do, like the things that you do outside of, your working hours, you don't get paid for, so like it's
shoot, nowadays no one gets paid enough because the cost of living of everything.
Yeah, people are leaving the profession, because I mean it is a lot. Like I just don't feel like education is education anymore. Everything is so political, like it's tough. It's so tough, but we making it, like we're making it, trying to, try to impact lives of the young children.
Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate you, educators. We really do. We still need y'all. Y'all got exposed when the pandemic hit, when people call parents who don't want to be called teachers, even though teaching starts at home, had to start doing teaching type stuff at home. And then they realized all of this. So I thought the momentum was in your educators' favor. And yet, y'all still barely got pay bumps. You barely got this. Then outside open back up, here we are. Same
I mean,
old.
I remember during COVID, like where I'm sitting at right now, this was like my workspace. Like I had to like arrange my dining room to like teach. And I teach PE. So can you imagine like teaching PE virtually? And then also like every teacher in my building, we had to pretty much rewrite curriculum. There are times where I would be sitting at this table from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. No extra pay. And ever since COVID, I would never do that again. Like,
I used to ask my son, how are you doing virtual PE? What are we doing? He was like, Mom, I got to go over here and do this. And he'd be doing some random stuff in the area. And I'm like, I think COVID changed that dynamic of, well, everything, obviously, but, especially teaching in school, that transition was difficult to get kids back into school and in the workplace. And even just, even me, myself, I was virtual for a long time and then trying to transition back into walking in at a certain time, having to be presentable to be in front of people. I was, I didn't always have to turn my camera on, but, trying to wake my son up last minute. We'd both be laying there. I get it. I'd still wake him up and I'd be like, dude, where's your shirt? Why do I have to get up?
You didn't have a shirt on. You can be in pajama bottoms. Just put your shirt on. Pajama bottoms.
How many times like my student would like accidentally, I guess, turn on the camera and they lay in bed and I'm like, hey, you're in bed. Like those covers over the head and I'm like, yeah, this kid is not getting anything done. So like, oh yeah, I've seen it all. Like I've seen it. Like there was one time, it was so funny. I did sixth grade. And sixth graders, they're like so cute. They're still like, like the youngest or whatnot. And I had this sixth grade student, I kid you not, their cameras are on. Thank God for sixth graders, right? Cameras are on. And his little sister like just kept coming in the room and they're like tussling and fighting because my student was trying to pay attention and the little sister over here just playing around. And I'm sitting there trying to teach her, hold a straight face. And I'm sending a private message to the student like, hey, like, do you need to go get your mom or dad? Like, oh my God. I've seen some crazy stuff on like I'm like, my poor student, he was really trying to like concentrate. And he was a good kid, good student, even when I saw, coming back in person. But that little sibling was just business. I felt so bad. And I'm like, the whole class sees this happening. Like, oh my God. Like, what is happening?
Look, they can't call that classroom management, can they?
We literally at that point, even when we had like, even when we even had, there are times where we had to even be observed because it's part of like the teaching contract and stuff like that. And I'm like, how do I get observed teaching virtual? Thank goodness, like I got a good observations. But if I would have got a bad observation, I probably would have called BS on it because I'm like, teaching virtually is not my bread and butter. Like you can't, this is not what I went to school for. I did not go to school to be a virtual teacher. So like, look,
yeah, I commended the PE teacher. I'm like, they got my kid over here doing this random stuff in this corner over here. What is you doing?
we would do scavenger hunts, but of course I always tell my kids like, hey, make sure like, it's okay with your parents. Some parents were still going out and work. So it's like, okay, can you go outside while your parent is at work? So it was just a lot of like, stimulations when it came to that, because you just don't know, like every kid's situation was different. We dealt with kids who didn't have access to internet. So it was like, our district had to find like hotspots. It was just like, it was a whole learning curve. I was like, man, if this is what education is going to be like, I don't want to know more, because it was a lot of work. And I looked ridiculous. I'm sure the man that be cutting the grass over here where I live is probably looking at me like, what is she doing? I'm in front of my computer doing jumping jacks and doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, and then I had to make sure the lighting was good. So like my windows are open, and I'm sure, like, yeah, those people who cut my grass probably that something was wrong with me. So I'm like, I'm working.
Could have been worse. It could have been worse. So yeah, interesting. Miss Williams said, "I've taken online courses, and even as an adult, it was a challenge. I can't imagine kids trying to do it."
Mm-hmm.
Right. I actually like
was a
online
struggle.
learning. I did online learning pre-COVID when I was working on my master's. We had a weekend class, 3 weekends, and it equates a whole semester. So sign me up because I was working full time, weekend class, boom. And Friday nights we would be in class, but Saturday daytime, a little bit of class. They'd be like, okay, finish up the rest at home or use Blackboard. So that was like a prequel to the online learning. But I'm like, it worked for me because again, if I don't have to sit the whole 8 hours in the classroom, if I don't have to sit here and do this every weekend, yeah. So I know some people that didn't like it, but maybe that course, I did it twice actually, 2 different courses. It worked for me. Now, if I had to go through like something that needs a lot of steps, like a math class, that may be different. But writing and my policy class, all that, online learning I was here for it. Helped me get to my graduate degree. Like I said, working full time and going to school was no fun. So, but yeah, we shout out to you educators because we appreciate you, honey. And
it's a lot of work.
Keep it up. Just like being a coach, your teacher still is a coach, so keep it up as well. We appreciate you. And Jobo, we got you up next, honey. What does Joe know about baseball? The World Series about to wrap up. Tell us who's playing. Tell us the shockers of the playoffs and the hockey season.
Oof. Shockers of the postseason of baseball is the Arizona Diamondbacks are in the World Series right now. I'll talk about that as well. But yeah, the Diamondbacks, it's crazy. The Diamondbacks and the Rangers both lost over 100 games 2 years ago, and now they're both in the World Series. It's just the difference is like the Rangers spent like $800 million to get to this point, and the D-backs didn't. So I don't know. It's a weird World Series, but yeah, the Rangers are up 3-1, and so the D-backs are fighting for their lives right now to get back to Texas. But I mean, it's just, I've said it in the chat, I've said it on here. There's just, baseball has been very weird this year. Like if you would have told me this would have been the matchup in April, I would have said you're a liar.
Right. That's true. Nobody would believe this. No way.
Yeah, like I had the Orioles being a wild card team, but they end up being the best team in the AL. Did not see that coming. The Dodgers getting swept in the playoffs. The Braves choking again. You know, just there's a lot of just weirdness going on. So I mean,
so what about your Astros? Because you had them winning it all, and you were sulking after they lost to the.
Yeah, I mean, they made it to their 7th ALCS. Can't be mad about that. They won more games than the Cardinals, and they won more games than the.
Boy, it's really shady over here. Y'all see all that shade? Ooh,
you're so smooth with this shit, man. I'm telling. First, we were talking about this meme last ladies' night, but yeah, no. Now we're a wire. The dude went off in the ALCS. He destroyed Texas in that series. Just the team, I don't know. And it's funny is because before the playoffs even started, I was saying when they got swept by the Oakland A's at home, they weren't going to make the playoffs, and they made it to Game 7 of the ALCS. So, yeah.
But you think the better team won, though, right? The Rangers beating them 4-3. The better team won that series, correct?
I mean, you got to say that about anyone. I think the Phillies are a better team than the D-backs, but the D-backs beat them. You know, like I think the Orioles are better than the Rangers, and I think the Blue Jays are a better team than the Twins, but it doesn't matter in the playoffs, you know. Like I think the Dodgers are also better than the Diamondbacks.
Of the playoffs, I'm saying like the better team as far as the actual matchup, not that regular season record. So, for instance, like you just mentioned the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. The Phillies seemed like they would have been the better team than the Diamondbacks, but they weren't in that series. But you would have thought that Phillies would beat them. But if Arizona beat them and won a series, then they were the better team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right then and there, they were. That's why I'm saying like playoffs are just. It's a completely different, monster, like football. I feel like you kind of know who's going to win in the playoffs. Like it's just, you know what games are going to be good. You know who's most likely going to be there at the end. Hockey and baseball, they're just so long and they're series and not just one game that it's just, I don't know, it's literally a toss-up. That's why you always have the front office of the St. Louis Cardinals saying, "Hey, just get in and we'll see what happens." That's that's what you hear all the time with them, and that's what the D-backs did. I mean, the D-backs are talking about being the 2006 Cardinals with only 83 wins. D-backs only had 84, I think. They got swept by the Astros at home for the last series of the year, and they made the playoffs, and now they're playing in the World Series. I don't know. It's weird. Baseball's weird. That's just been a
So that was
super
Miss
freaking
Alice
weird year.
was asking that question. Why do you think it's so unpredictable?
I mean, baseball, it's literally you're hot and cold all year long. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it's always like. Like the Orioles, they were so good pitching all year. They had a couple guys who would hit the ball around, and they had pristine defense. Playoffs started, pitching was not good. They lost to one of the best closers in all of baseball, and they didn't hit. Like it was just weird. And then we talked about this before. Now the format is, if you're a 1 or 2 seed, you get a week off, and some people think you're ice cold from that. We'll never know. I don't know. It's just baseball's literally just names in a hat, and you pick out. Honestly, I mean, like back in the day, it was gonna be the Yankees, the Giants, the Cardinals, those teams, the Braves that were winning every other year, and now it's the Rangers and the D-backs in the World Series. So, but I mean, it's fun though. Like you got teams that have hosted games that haven't hosted playoff games in 10 to 15 years. So I mean, that's good for the game, I guess.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. Like the O's got the host. The Twins won their first game since I was in like 2nd grade, and the D-backs are in there, and the Marlins made it this year. So it's good for the game to have different teams out there.
When do they play?
Marlins,
When's the next game?
So game 5's on right now. I think it's still nothing, but yeah.
The Rangers are trying to get that ring tonight.
Yeah,
the trophy. They're trying to get that trophy.
Yeah, I was looking at the series. So okay, it could be over tonight.
Yeah, the Rangers are trying to avenge the loss that they had against, of course, our St. Louis Cardinals back in 2011. So here you are, 10 plus years later. They're trying to actually hold that trophy up. So we shall see.
Yeah, for the first time. And then I mentioned the Marlins. This happened like 2 weeks ago, but Kim Een, she was the general manager of the Marlins. She it's like I think she stepped down because they were trying to hire someone above her to make more of the shots. And it's kind of like, you got to the playoffs 2 times since you've been there. You've traded people, you've signed people, you've extended people, and now you're trying to go over her to, I don't know. I think it was a bad look for the Marlins to do that, because she, the first female to do this, and she was succeeding. Now that's that.
But since they chose to part ways, tell me, like, I think they could have just offered her more money. She would have stayed. Or philosophical, how if she did her job and then some? Like, what?
I just don't think she agreed with the way the organization was trying to take it after she had done so much for it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and she's probably gonna go somewhere like New York. I mean, the Mets, they're looking for front office help. They're looking for a manager. I mean, she's not gonna be a manager, but I'm just saying, like, she could go somewhere like New York and make an impact right away. And yeah, the organization wanted to hire a new president of baseball operations, so yeah, it's a higher position than her. So, like, for an example, Cardinals, if you want to go locally, is John Mozeliak was the GM, moved him to president of baseball operations, and Mike Gersh is the GM. And we always joke and laugh on the show that, who the hell is Mike Gersh? We never see the guy. He's only on camera when something bad happens, and you just need a talking head. So we've seen him a little bit more this year because a lot of bad happened. But
Mozeliak is still the GM, even though he's president of basketball operations. So that's what that means. He's still running everything. So.
But I don't know. It was a shitty thing to do for the Marlins. So,
but something was wrong, because the Marlins, when Derek Jeter decided to part ways, like, that means that is a toxic organization. Derek Jeter is respectable as a non-player now, so on the other side of management. And when he decides to leave, I'll raise my eyebrows then. Then they did this groundbreaking hire. So yeah, okay, maybe they're redeeming themselves, but she is a very, very good pick and she has a great resume. And then they decide to part ways, then you know it's not them, it's the organization that has the issue.
Yeah. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with Marlon. It's gonna be there's like 7 teams that need a manager this offseason. GMs, we were talking about before the show that the Padres took out a loan just in order to, I guess, be able to stay afloat for their team. And I mean, there's just so much stuff going on with baseball, and they're trying out new pitch clock stuff in the minor leagues, and so we'll see what happens. It's 2024 might even be more weird than 2023. I think next year I'm going to say that the Marlins and the Oakland A's are going to be in the World Series, and we'll see what happens.
Save this. Of course, you can always catch the archive shows on Roku for our listeners and viewers out there, as well as, of course, on the YouTube. And also, shout out to people on Twitch, Hot 365 Radio. We're on there now. I'm just plugging all this in to let you know what Jobo just said. We can always rewind it and play it back, and you can too. Yeah.
And you know what? I thought the Cardinals were going to make the postseason this year and be playing right now, and look where we're at. They've been home for a while, so hopefully... I should have been like, hey, the Yankees and the Cubs are going to be in the World Series next year, and hopefully those teams do what the Cardinals did.
We shall see. And speaking of our Cardinals, let's go to our other St. Louis teams. So the St. Louis Blues. Here we go again, y'all. Having deja vu of 2019. Now, the beginning of 2019, let me specify. No, 2018, sorry. 2018 to 2019 season. 2018, we started off horrible, the worst and the worst. By 2019, after that January or so, we got it together and won the Stanley Cup. Now, again, I'm saying deja vu of 2018, the beginning where we suck. That's what they're looking like now, Jobo. What is the problem?
They're not shooting the puck. That's the problem. Like, their defense, it's the same team defensively, but they're playing differently, playing more tighter, but, like, they're not shooting the puck. I don't know why they're not. It's bad. Like I didn't get to see the last game, but we lost 5-0. And my uncle, who is one of the biggest Blues fans ever, was saying that's probably one of the worst games he ever watched in his life. Like, it was bad. And I thought people were just over exaggerating during preseason, saying that, they're not shooting the puck as much. And I thought they were over exaggerating because that's how the Blues have always been. Like, you're at the arena and you hear people scream and shoot constantly, and that's not happening. Well, I still don't think they even have a power play goal this year, which is crazy, but I don't know. So something's got to change.
Did they put too much pressure thinking Kyrou's going to be our number one scorer and he's going through a drought right now? I mean, what gives?
I mean, I don't think it's just Kyrou. I think they need to split up the lines, like putting Thomas and Kyrou together on the same line together is probably not the smartest thing, but I'm going to say what I should not have said during the Cardinals season is it's early and you just got to make adjustments. They're 3-3-1 right now, and they're playing Colorado tonight, so they're probably about to be 3-4-1. But I mean, I don't know. It's
honestly not 3-4-1. You already know they're gonna lose.
Playing Colorado in Colorado, like that's just bless you, Brittany, if you see. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird year again with the Blues to start off, but I honestly didn't think that they were going to go out and be amazing because it's almost the same team as last year, and we saw what happened last year. It's like the Cardinals don't make any moves and bring back this team we saw at the end of the year. I'm not going to pick them to win the division. So.
All right. Well, that they gave us the Blues right now. I need you to tell them to stop giving us the Blues. Get it together. Can't use Jobo's O-line of it's still early. That doesn't apply to the Blues anymore because they've done that the last 2 seasons on us, and look where it got us. So it's not too early for them. Get it together.
Hey, Bennington's looked great, though. I will say that.
Oh, that's our silver lining. Yeah.
Okay, coming from one of Benner's not biggest fan. I don't know how to say that. Not the biggest fan of him. He's been pretty good this year. He looks better and more of like a shell of himself from 2019 and 2020-21 season. So that's nice to see.
I'm afraid that what's going to happen as the season progresses, he's going to regress and the lines are going to start scoring. We need both. We need to win, right? We need them both running on all cylinders. So tell the offense, tell the defense, whoever. I mean, who needs to score a goal? What incentive do you need? What else can be done to say, get it together, score the goals? These fans are paying money. The prices already went up, and they're not seeing a quality product on the rink. What needs to happen? Who needs, like, I know Berube did a lineup switch. I read that yesterday, that he was switching up the lines. That may take some adjustment. I'm not sure. How does the chemistry work on a hockey lines when they're out there compared to, like, we talk about chemistry with basketball team? I can speak on that. But how does it work? If you're switching up the lines, do they need a few games to get it together? Or they can get together in one game and be like, yes, these all of them working together at the same time works. Like,
I mean, I don't think it takes that much time because, like, preseason, these guys, that there's so many different lines they're playing. They know each other, and like I said, besides a Hayes that we have on the team now, the team's pretty much exactly the same. So they all know each other, and I don't think that's the issue right now. I don't know. I really don't know what the issue is this early on in the season. It's just right now they're just not shooting. It sounds very stupid and simple, but they're just not shooting the puck. They're trying to get too fancy and make the fancy pass and whatnot, and it's just not happening.
So go back to the basics, Blues, right? Back to the basics.
Pretty much.
Shoot, score, real simple, right? Basic. Shoot, score, defense, stop. Oh, you got a power play. Shoot, score. You got an advantage, right? Keep it basic. Okay. Hold our breath. We'll see what happens next month. What else? Last but not least, with our St. Louis teams, we talked a little bit earlier about City AC. So I said, hopefully this coming Sunday in warmer and drier weather, they'll get a dub. The goalie gave up a lot of goals. Was that his fault? Not his fault. Last game. How do we, improve for the next game?
Shoot, I don't know. That they looked flat, and I guess I didn't realize it because, like I said earlier in the show, we've been busy. So sports haven't been the most important thing in our household right now, and it probably doesn't sound nice on a sports talk show, but I didn't realize that they were like 2-8 in their last 10 games. Like, they just have not been playing good. And I know the last couple games they weren't starting their regulars because they were resting them for the playoffs and whatnot, getting guys healthy. But I don't know. We were watching that game, and they just didn't look like they wanted to be there. It was just very lazy. So I don't know what they're gonna have to do for that. You're gonna need Klaus to step it up, and Loudon. Apparently, he's been a little cold lately. So, and Berkey, I mean, I think he's fine, as your goaltender. It's just the whole team didn't look good, honestly. It wasn't just one guy.
Okay. We shall see. Tune in Sunday to see if you have Facebook posts about St. Louis City SC doing the job and getting a dub, or more fans pissed.
This is do or die. It's do or die Sunday.
Yeah. So again,
you don't want to lose to Kansas City. Kansas City? What is that? That's not
a country
good.
city. No offense to my KC people that I know, but in general, country. But we'll see. In the meantime, WNBA, we have the champions, Las Vegas Aces, right? 2-time champions, Asia Wilson, MVP. She's so dope. She was putting out, as they say, shooting her shot to Usher, right? She's like, Usher, I want you to come to our parade. Usher, she was hyping it up on social media. He got the memo. He didn't make it to the parade. But of course, if you haven't heard about Usher and that residency in Vegas, he puts on a show and he always, shouts out the celebrities. And he gave her a shout out. He sang to her. Asia Wilson has so much personality. I love her. I love her intensity. She's dope. Like, I was mad because I brought this up last ladies' night that she didn't get the MVP or the league for the season. It's like, how not? But, like we talking about earlier with the rankings in college football, some of them writers, somebody a little biased will get extra money. Here nor there. She's so dope. I'm happy for a 2-time champion. And the fact that she's one of South Carolina, Dawn Staley's girls, and I love Dawn Staley in South Carolina women's basketball program. They're dope as well. But for any of you all that follow it, do you think she is the best player in the WNBA? Any of y'all follow it at all?
Yeah, I think she's one of them. I mean, it's so, I feel like I watched more games this season than I did last season because just so much was going on. Um, for me, she's definitely enjoyable to watch. Um, in the series, like she had that one off game where she had a hard time scoring the basketball. But like the one thing I do admire about her, and just any typical basketball player, when you're one of the top players on your team and when things are not going your way, you still find ways to help your team win. And I feel like that's exactly what she did. And she came back, and that last game she just dominated, you know. And I just felt like just watching it. I mean, they wanted it more, in my opinion. It was such a good game. Especially that last game that they played. It was so competitive. But like I just really like how the Aces played together as a team. Like I really enjoyed watching them in that series. And I enjoy watching her. She's a great player. Watched a couple games when she was at South Carolina. Again, it's so hard for me to watch basketball because I'm watching my own team, But the games that I did watch her play, I've always enjoyed watching her. She's fun to watch.
Do you think the Las Vegas Aces can be champions next year? Think they're gonna do that?
I think just winning. I feel like just winning a national championship, regardless of what the sport, it's so hard to do. I think about like last year. My team, we went on a 7-game winning streak, and that was hard itself. Like it's just so hard to just play a game and you have to, win after win after win. I mean, it's definitely doable, but kind of depends on like what changes that are going to be made. At the end of the day, with sports, it's a business. They can make trades. Some people, hey, they have a deal where they can make, more money, have a better contract, or what the case may be. But I mean, kind of depends if they keep that team together. But I mean, is it doable if they keep the same, camaraderie? Yeah. But I just feel like anytime somebody wins a national championship, I just feel like it's so hard to do. And it is a great accomplishment. So kind of varies. I mean, for them to go back to back, like that's tough. Like I can only imagine like what that is like having, going back to back and winning, especially like, this last, series they won, but there were some games where, New York gave them a run for their money. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was a little nervous. But
so you think like the LA Sparks from years ago when Candace Park was on that squad, or even the Golden State Warriors, when they win 2 in a row, they make it look so easy. That's why we're thinking like, oh, that person could probably repeat. They make it look easy, but it's not.
I just think it's hard to do. Just think about the standard to do that 2 times in a row. You know what I mean? Like, especially when like the Golden State Warriors, when you had like everybody coming back and everybody was like, oh yeah, like they should, repeat again. Like that pressure, you know what I mean? Like that's just hard to do. I mean, playing basketball, I mean, like I said, I played up until the collegiate level, and after I finished playing college basketball, like it does a lot to your body too, trying to stay healthy. Basketball is such a long season. It is such a long season, and just be willing to keep your focus for that long period of time, like it can be tough for sure.
Let me ask y'all all a quick question, not direct with this topic. I heard this on a ESPN 101 earlier. I'll tell you who said it once y'all give me an answer. Do you all think that basketball is a contact sport?
It can be physical. I don't consider it a contact sport. I do consider it very physical. It can be. Okay. I mean, my son plays it, and he plays both. He plays football and basketball. And obviously, we're playing at a younger level. My husband coaches high school.
Mm-hmm.
A contact sport? Nah.
I guess it kind of depends on how you view contact, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of how I look at it. It is, yes, it's physical, but I feel like it's a different kind of contact. Like, of course, like when people talk about football, it is a contact sport. Like they're on, like it's contact all the time, especially like you think about offensive line, defensive line, they're in contact all the time. With basketball, there could be a draw contact. you know, but again, it really depends on how people view it, you know, like obviously like me, you know, I was a slasher, so getting to the basket, I always drew the contact, and that was kind of like the language that I've always heard. So I guess just kind of how people view it. I don't see it like being a right or wrong answer. Like, no, it's not a contact sport, but then like I can see it being a contact sport because like, you know, there are times where you're bumping and you know you're getting in the way of others. So I guess it just really depends on how that person views and defines contact. I mean, yes, it's physical, totally agree. But can there be some contact in basketball? Yes, there can be.
I mean,
So
there's some contact in baseball, but I don't consider baseball a contact sport.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
It really depends on how you view it.
Yeah, it's more of like hockey and football or like those contact, physical, gruesome type sports and everything else kind of. And soccer is borderline, but I only say borderline because some of these guys get flicked on the elbow and they're all and they're like freaking out and stuff, you know. So
yeah, and you know, my version of contact sport, you know, they knock it, you know, they knock each other out, you know, they rolling over each other. You know, my son's like, I want to play defense. I'm like, goodness gracious, you just want to knock somebody out. Okay. So, you know, I guess it's because I grew up, you know, football, sports mom, a lot of football in my life, in my family. So I've seen contact, a lot of contact. So I can get it. My son does play basketball, and I kind of have to relate back, like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, when he does go to a hole, that can, they can get real physical. And yeah. So
Jamie Rivers was on ESPN 101. He brought it up and he was trying to compare to some other sports, and he was like, basketball wasn't a contact sport, not really. And he said, of course, not baseball. He said, and hockey was. I'm like, no, basketball is a contact sport. I'm like, I heard what you said with hockey. I'm like, as much as contact as basketball. Hockey, because they have a different, additional, you know, weapon in their hand with the sticks and stuff, and they're skating, but they don't constantly have somebody directly on them. Like in basketball, once you set up, you have somebody on you. You're paying defense or you're offense. Somebody's always in your breathing space for the most part. In certain plays now, but in general, if it's man to man, somebody always in your face. To me, just even an elbow pushing to get space, you know, you do push off to get space so you can throw your jumper, or defensively trying to block their shoot. I say that's contact, and it's constant in the game. It's not like, oh, this one play here, the other plays is not. It's always something. So it just threw me off guard when he said that. I'm like, is he a hockey player? He don't think it, because it's not football contact, but it's always contact. When you're moving off screens, there's contact. I mean, I'm like, how is this not a contact?
I mean, they have on full pads, a mask, and a stick. I really, that's definitely to me a contact sport. If you got to pad up to protect themselves like that.
But I'm thinking hockey could be just as contact, like, or basketball is as much contact as hockey. Yeah, they're padded up and all that. Like I just said, for all that you see, and y'all all seen it, I mean, you're not, like you just did earlier, it's not that, or it's not cross-checking somebody against the boards, but you still pushing off to get space a lot of times. You see them when they go. I was like, that is a contact to me. I mean, it's based on how you look at it, but I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
it's contact to me.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. And then it's just like, again, like you're comparing basketball and hockey, which, you know, I don't watch a lot of hockey games, but the hockey games that I've watched or came across, there is more contact being drawn than you will see in a normal basketball game, you know. But like, I mean, it's just different levels of contact, you know, like if somebody can say like, oh, I think, you know, football and hockey is a high level contact sport, you know, soccer is, you know, moderate, basketball could be moderate, you know, like it just really depends on like how you view things, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've played basketball, and I went to the basket. So I had a lot of times where I drew the contact. I mean, constantly getting bumped, shoved, pushed, you know, like it just happens, you know. And like I said, it also depends on how aggressive that, you know, that player is. You know, you have kids who, don't like contact. So you can be like, oh, like it's not a contact sport because they're not drawing contact or whatnot. But just kind of depends on, how people view it,
Sorry, but that was a curveball, but that popped in my mind when we were talking about basketball. And our producer has a quick picture when I talked about Candace Parker earlier. She has 3 championships with 3 different teams, y'all. Tell me how dope that is.
Heck yes. I just want to put this on the record. So before Tennessee Vows got their like basketball court changed, I don't know if I was like in 8th grade or going to high school, but I went to the University of Tennessee women's team camp. It was so much fun. Well, basketball camp. And when they were changing out the floor, I got one of the piece of like the wood floor, and I have Candace Parker's signature on it. That's when like Alexis Hornbuckle was there, Shannon Bobbitt, like that group. Very classic. So
we need to have like a show and tell episode. Maybe not even just ladies' night, but next time we do like a super show, we should do like everyone has to show some sort of like dope memorabilia, moment or something. Like I think write that down, Smooth. Write that down. I think that'd be a cool moment. Hey, maybe like an end of a year show or something. You made me think of an idea, so there you go.
Here for it. Okay.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, Candace Parker was dope. I loved her. I remember her when she was back at Tennessee, because I was like a big Tennessee Vols fan, because I was following them back in the late 90s. Like Shamika Holesclaw was on there, and before there, Marciniak, the guard. I'm telling you, like I was a Pat Summitt in Tennessee. I don't know how I gravitated towards them, but it worked. So now that we have the Las Vegas Aces championship, Jill Wilson, like I said, she should have been MVP. And we think they could repeat. Brittany said it's hard, but I think they could do it. Nothing to it but to do it, right? And our producer has a video to show. So without further ado, video. Producer, you can show that video, sir. Sorry, what was that again? That video clip of
Yes. I feel like he shared this with us before. But who was it? 17-year-old Dominique.
Oh, 17.
Man. I mean, I just said, look how tall. What do you know? What is the height?
Sometimes, look, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. People don't be mad. Do not shoot down the messenger. But sometimes genetics can play a role.
You can't teach height. I mean, that's one thing you can't teach is height.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, like, got some good genes. Tall. That's impressive. Like, I am not hating at all. She could put it down. She could put it down. I ain't mad at him. I think that's kind of cool.
It's like that was
her official height. Do y'all know?
Like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
a beautiful thing.
Like, dang, okay. Because like for so long, it was like the stigmatism of like, oh, women, they can't dunk, or that was not like normal. But I mean, hey, if you could dunk, you could dunk,
She's 6'6", Bunny.
Damn. Whoa!
Genetics. She got some.
She can start flying now. Oh my God, 6. Woo-wee. Did she already commit to a college yet?
But you got to think about it, like South Carolina women's basketball team. They got women on the team that tall. Like, it don't look like it because they're all like close, same in height. So
that's the crazy part. When you see some of these men's team and women's team, when you watch them, they're like they don't look as tall, I guess. Until you see them in person. And wow. Yeah.
Last year when I went, I think it was last year when I went to Milwaukee to visit one of my best friends. We went to a basketball game. They were playing Chicago, and like we all see Giannis, but seeing that man in person, I was like, my goodness. I feel like his shoe was probably like, I don't know, like cover almost like half my arm. Like I was like, that man is huge. I was like, Oh my God.
Wait till you ever meet Wembanyama. How you pronounce Wembanyama in person? That's the rookie that for the Spurs. That's 7'6", I believe.
Oh yeah, he's tall too. Like, but
He was just Slender Man for yesterday for Halloween.
Right. How do you fit into a car? Like Slender Man and all. How the heck do you fit into
He
you
got
take
a
the whole
special
first
car. He
2
got a
rows
special
out?
whatever. He has a special something.
How you get into a bed? Like you need a whole house as your bed. Like, dude, 7'6". What the? Oh, wow.
The
But
extra
anyway,
king. The California King.
like Tom 3. Because I was thinking about shit. I'm like, what do y'all sleep in? Like, y'all not normal human side, even for tall people. Like y'all on a whole nother.
He just don't walk into a store and buy stuff at this point. He's got to have all that made. Okay.
Everything is custom.
Yeah.
That's why I said like a car has to be like a Suburban and take the first 2 rows out. So you driving way back. That's crazy. Oh, what else? Last but not least, I was going to talk about another topic. I forgot. Oh, Miss Williams said there's a number of players in the WNBA who could dunk if they chose to. They have the height. She just thinks it's not emphasized with women players.
Yep.
Let me tell you a controversial topic. Shaq brought this up on
There he is, Slender Man.
Girl. Like that, I said that don't even look like that's a human. That's crazy how tall he is. Look at the people in the background.
That's spooky. That's spooky.
Did you see what Shaq dressed up as? He I saw it on social media. He was on, their talk show with Charles Barkley and all them. He came as Jimmy Butler. Like, Jimmy Butler, like at the beginning of the season.
The emo version of Jimmy Butler.
Which Jimmy Butler did he come as? Smooth hair version or
look, his press.
He got the silk press going.
Yeah, the silk press.
You silly for that.
Yeah, there was. I'll have to. Bunny, I have to share. I gotta find it on social media. But I think I saw it this morning, and I was like, oh, because Charles Barkley, he don't know what's going on most of the time, and he was like, he made a comment to Shaq. They're always going back and forth, but like Charles Barkley didn't get it, and Shaq was like, dude, I'm Jimmy Butler.
What do you think? He just came to work with a new hairstyle?
Basically, it was something and I can't quote it, but like it was something on the lines talking about, oh, look at that attractive.
Really, Charles. Really, Charles.
There it is. Yes, Joe. Joe got it. Look, there it is. Y'all gotta watch the video because look, it doesn't. It's so much. You gotta.
It looks like a perm gone wrong. That's what it looked like.
Child, look. Telling you.
I love it.
Shaq and Charles Barkley.
That's funny.
Day. It is like it was classic. I'm looking for it.
I like seeing all these athletes dressing up. I think they usually do a pretty good job too.
They become creative.
Mm-hmm.
They got the paper to come with it. Okay, because I've seen some very interesting costumes from a lot of athletes and celebrities this year. So they've definitely a lot of Addams Family this year. I saw a lot of people.
A lot of Wednesday Addams because of the show. A lot of Barbie, and then also I've seen a lot of Mario this year because I think the Mario Brothers movie came out. So I've been seeing a lot of the Mario Brothers movie and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of Wednesday and Barbie.
Yeah, that was how it was yesterday at school. Wednesday, we even had like a group of staff members that dressed up as like some form of Barbie. It's quite interesting. The only reason why I've seen it because I took a picture of the group. Yeah, that was popular for us too.
The Bratz dolls. I seen people dressing up the Bratz. Sexy Red. That's something big in our.
That's not a hard costume to put on, and I'm so unpopular opinion. OMG.
Yeah.
I could be dressed up like Sexy Red right now. 2 years ago.
Sexy Red.
Am I that young? What? Hold on.
She's younger than us. It's okay.
I'm Googling it. Hold on.
Lord, Google pound.
That's an unpopular opinion because there's a lot of fans, so have at it. But I'm just like,
let me tell you this. Look, I was introduced to Sexy Red before. I think when everybody like heard of Sexy Red, one of my basketball players. This is like during COVID time, so this is when we had to like drive to games, and of course we had to go through the whole like liability, like permission of like players driving, and she was one of them that will always come and ride with me, and I was like, all right, what do you guys want to listen to? Like, so I let her, she got control of the aux, and there was this song that came on. I ain't gonna say the words, but I was just like, who is this? And she was like, it's Sexy Red. She's from Northside. I was like, I'd never heard of her before. Like, so I was to Sexy Red before like all of this. And then, when she came out with Pound Town and some other popular songs and whatnot, like I was just like, oh, this her.
All right, so this isn't me being super. This isn't me being young because she's younger than I am, but I don't know, man. I'm not in with today's music in any genre, honestly. There's just so many new people out there. I don't know who the hell they are.
All I know is Jobo.
That's one of them.
You could try to be Sexy Red. I could try to be her minus 3 and 4 years ago because her big belly and all is performing and selling out the Shapeless Arena. She
literally just sold out her performance at the Shape. It was at the pageant. They had to move it. She sold out like that. Regardless of the lyrics, and what's going on.
And the appearance. Put that in there, please.
Some things going on, but St. Louis loves her. She's you can't knock what she's doing. It's amazing. I mean,
it is what it is.
One with Drake right now and Summer Walker. So
more power to them. I ain't
mad. She getting her coin. I ain't mad.
Get all of them, baby. I want that baby.
There was some controversy when they took her over to Central.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean,
Google it.
Yeah, you had to Google it. I mean, when you listen to the song and you're like, oh, okay, that's what we was playing at the performance at the high school. Cool, okay. I mean, I get it. That's what our kids are listening to, but I hope she edited out half her. I mean, it would be like beep 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 beep. But I ain't gonna lie, but I bob to it in the car a little bit. But it's not, not my normal cup of tea.
Yeah, you are. I mean, at least you don't have to worry about DJing it at work. You do more R&B.
Definitely. I got you grown and sexy. There you go.
There you go. So
Joe's in the background listening to Pound Town right now.
Nah, I'm gonna give it a listen after this though.
I don't even know if I know it.
No.
I'll give it a listen later.
Oh yes, that is hilarious.
Look at baby Mia.
Yeah, she's like,
hey, Mama Mia. She's so cute. Uh-oh. Hi, Mama Mia.
You say hi.
Hey. Oh, Sasha, look, there's Mia. Y'all, that's about Mia. Say hi, Mia.
You see her PJs?
Bluey. See the Bluey PJs? Oh, look that way. You can tell her. Sorry, ladies.
Good night. Can you say goodnight?
Okay. I get that. And what about, speaking of women's basketball, y'all? What about the Iowa women's basketball team? Did you all see that they had a game in the football stadium and put the
that was amazing.
And that was that mug out.
Dope.
That was dope. Look at that. What was the number? I think was it 70,000. What was the number? It got up to 50,000. Y'all don't quote
50,
me.
a little over 50. I think it was under 55, but it was like maybe 52,000. I think if I looked at it correctly. But
I can't remember the number, but I thought it was
dope. Like, man, I'm glad they came with that idea. That was tight. Like, now I did read it was a little windy, but overall, like that's why it was an exhibition game, but still.
Has NBA done something like this before?
I know there was a women's college volley, women's college volleyball team.
That was the one that had like 70,000 plus there. But I was just curious because I mean, with that volleyball game and now this, it seems like it's usually good turnout. And I mean, hockey does it a couple times a year where they put a whole ice rink in a stadium like this. So I'm surprised we don't see it more often with other sports.
Yeah. So unique.
Maybe they're gonna set the trend and start doing it with other sports.
It was 52,000 I think their arena that they normally play in holds about 15, maybe 1,000. They didn't fully sell out because if you notice how they're on one side of the court, it's kind of hard for that whole other side to really watch unless, you're kind of there for the experience because now you're watching on the Jumbotron or Jumbo screen or whatever. So, yeah. But still a cool experience to see and watch. And I know they had a blast when they called their names and they ran out. It looked amazing. Outside playing, you don't get that opportunity often.
Not at all.
Fred said the NBA played a game at an outdoor tennis court in New York a few years back. So that's what
I don't know, just like think about like being one of the New York teams playing at Yankee Stadium. Like that'd probably be cool, like what is it? Isn't there a college football team that does that? I think they do that sometimes, they play at like Yankee Stadium or something like that. But I don't know. I think more people should do this. Football, basketball, and college and in pro sports, because it is an experience thing. Like when the Winter Classic was here at Busch Stadium, 20, I don't even know, 18 maybe, I don't even know. We went to the game before the real game, like with the legends playing, and that was fun. It is just to be there for like the atmosphere and just for the experience, and that's a good time. I'd do it again.
I feel you. I like it. The hockey one, I probably won't want to do that because it's cold outside in the middle of winter. That's why when the Rams used to play here, I used to go to those football games. I was so glad it was a dome. I'm just saying, me and cold, an hour you got me. After that, yeah, maybe I'm not a dedicated fan like y'all want me to, but I'm just saying. Now, at least I don't have to worry about basketball because that's always indoors. Or if they did that with the girls' game, that wasn't in the middle of winter either. So, speaking of, let's go on to the men's side NBA predictions on the Eastern Conference side and the Western Conference side. Let's see. For the West, because everybody knows how the West was won. The Denver Nuggets are your defending champs. So, who do y'all have on the? I mean, it's split up by division, but let's just do about a conference. It is what it is. Yeah, I definitely can see the Nuggets defending their crown with no problem. However, with the moves that the Suns did, having Bradley Beal plus Devin Booker plus Kevin Durant, we'll see if they can, which I don't think they can pull it off to dethrone the Nuggets because they don't play defense. Yeah. The Lakers, they did some good acquisition in the offseason. I know Fred brought us up some months ago because they were busy. They weren't getting like high-profile names like Lillard or even Harden, but they got key pieces you need, as I always say, for the playoffs. You got to have a good bench because the playoffs is hard, not just because of who you're playing with, but you're playing the same team, so people adjust, and you got to have the scoring to keep going to make it all the way through the June. So Lakers did some good acquisition all season, but they did, for what I've seen so far, they're not ready to dethrone the Nuggets, but we'll see at the midway point. The Warriors, another one, added CP3. Plus, of course, they got their other backcourt kings, which is Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. I mean, you got so many good teams I see in the West, and we don't sleep on the Kings either. But can they dethrone the Nuggets really good? How everybody's set up now, they'll come close. But I mean, Brittany said defending a championship is not easy. It's hard, and it is. It really is.
I like the Suns. I think the Suns.
I like the Suns to do it. They gotta get some defensive pieces because you can't go to playoffs not playing defense. I'm just saying. Now it's a cliche, but it's true. Defense wins championships, and it does. Just saying.
Yeah.
So the Spurs with that Wembanyama, I said his name wrong. At 7'5", they're not gonna make much noise now, and he's still
Slender Man.
It's Slender Man. That's what we're gonna call him. All right.
Slender Man. And of course he's just one guy and he's still not gonna do it all. And he's a rookie. So to carry a team, they're not gonna make any noise this year. The Grizzlies, if John Morant comes back and is not getting kicked off, not the league, but getting suspended again, and they got Smart, they actually may make a good run as well. But again,
there's probably
the Nuggets is so good, y'all. It's really hard to dethrone them. I mean, coming close. I just don't see anybody on the West be able to dethrone them, like to be the conference champions, but a lot can happen. It's only the beginning of the season. On the Eastern side, so of course St. Louis' own Tatum is playing for the Celtics, and they did a little something. Would they be the best bet coming out of the East to beat the Nuggets? You don't think the Bucks? They got Lillard, they got Giannis.
All with Celtics. Celtics.
Even 76ers again. They still got Embiid. They still
the Bucks are good too, but I'm still gonna go with the Celtics.
I have nobody else. Okay.
Celtics.
What about the Heat? Jimmy Buckets. I mean, with Shaq rocking his look, we know Jimmy Buckets come through in the playoffs. No, you don't think they could try it because they got to the
a good effort. I think they'll give a great effort, but I'm still gonna go with the Celtics.
Neither the Heat went to the championship. They just didn't win, y'all. Y'all forgot that part last year, right? See, I'm just saying. Well, Brittany's saying Boston, so we'll see. From the East, I don't know. It's a toss up for me. If the Bucks stay healthy, I think they can dethrone the Celtics and come out the East and then take on the Nuggets. That's definitely a good matchup because you got Jokic against Giannis. Man, if they play, that'd be good. One will play inside on the post, other one shoots outside. I'm just saying, it'd be definitely a good matchup. But I'm rooting for CP3 to get his ring before he retires, and we almost at that time of his life. So I don't mind if the Warriors win another one. Just saying. My biased opinion there. But yeah. Do you play fantasy basketball, Michelle?
No, I lose every time because they're so inconsistent.
Oh wow.
My husband does. He was trying to show it to me the other day. I'm like, what am I looking at?
That's a blank stare.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. So yeah.
Okay. We'll get you. Well, maybe sooner than later. I don't play it. I just like watching the games when I do, and I have to root for the Lakers for my husband, and I'm like, okay. And I always fall asleep on the game because a lot of Lakers games on the West Coast, and these kids drain my energy. Where I'm like, I'm not staying awake past halftime. So there you go. All right, Coach Willis.
Baseball news for Joe is Zach Gallen. The D-backs has a no-hitter through the 6th.
You didn't read my next message, man.
Jinx. Oh.
Smooth knows better than to say that.
Smooth update us here in a few minutes.
Oh lordy. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna go for the finals. Boston, because we all know how I feel about Tatum. Okay. And I'll go Nuggets again, but Celtics are winning it. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, Coach Willis is on you. What you got?
Going for Boston. That's all I have.
Well, who are you thinking?
You got Boston, take it all. Boston.
Who from the West will defeat? Who from the West will Boston defeat to get that championship? Who you think?
Yeah,
the Nuggets are the defending champs.
I really can't speak on that right now.
You just said Boston for everything. Okay.
But yeah, Boston. Yeah, don't know. We're just kind of getting started too, so we shall see.
Yeah, this is just
I wanted to put Warriors in there, but I feel like they're kind of on the older side. I don't know a lot about basketball.
Good. I'm still rooting for CP3.
I know.
Get that ring. Please get that ring for him. Please. Don't let me be Charles Barkley and always known to be good with no ring. You don't want that label.
I'm just waiting for Jamie's comment about the Golden State Warriors comment.
Oh.
Is it wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know.
More than a Warriors,
she's like, she's a Warriors fan. So,
I thought I was a Durant fan.
Oh, I'm a Warriors fan too because my son is all about,
Yep, there it is. Or the Suns. Okay, all right. So she's open. Thanks, Jamie.
Warriors for the win. There's Jamie.
Or Suns.
Or the Suns. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Jamie, what's the comeback? Warriors showed some weakness last year. What's the comeback?
The Suns did too. Because why? They don't play defense. They choked. I mean, they got rid of Aiden, which he was expendable anyway. He didn't help them, but the Suns didn't show up when they supposed to 2 years in a row. So just saying, it ain't just the Warriors. But again, we'll shout. Look, and it's funny thing, CP3 went from the Suns to the Warriors, so by way of Washington. But anyway, I'm just rooting for them. I've had a fun-filled laugh and all that in between on this show. You all, it's been so good seeing you all because life is life and it kept me busy. Main culprit is right here. Say, I'm the main culprit, mommy. I'm the reason why you're so busy. Yeah, me.
Can we get Jamie's comment?
He knows.
Can we get Jamie's comment on the screen?
Oh, don't come for my Warriors, but we should be good. I'm only accepting the Pink Suns love. They look AD. Okay. Oh my goodness. Jamie is locked and ready to go. Don't come for her son, she said.
Before we go, again, condolences to Bobby Knight and Tasha Butts.
Yeah. And Tasha Butts, she just became the head coach for Georgetown women's basketball and passed away from breast cancer. She was 41. And even though we're not in October anymore, October emphasizes on breast cancer awareness. And unfortunately, she succumbed to breast cancer. So if you ladies haven't, Jobo, you're not in that age group, and I don't think Coach Willis is. But for other women that late 30s, high 40s, when they start recommending you get mammogram to check for breast cancer. If you're not have your mom's aunts, just make sure check because 41 is so young to deal with that. And this was our second bout with it. I was just so hurt when I read that. I'm like, wow, didn't even get a really full year to coach their team. And she was known throughout college hoops because she was a good player herself and was assistant on different rosters. And as far as Bobby Knight, everybody knows Bobby Knight. Now, him passing away, y'all know he was a very good friend of Tony La Russa. So he used to come to St. Louis a few times to watch the Cardinals games when La Russa was still managing. So he passed away 83 years of age. And funny thing, the Bobby Knight that we know from we used to see all the antics on the sidelines. In this day and age, he would never even gotten a start because social media, everybody would have him go viral. So he's definitely an old school coach. You said that he passed away? I know. The condolences to their family, to the Butts and the Knight family. Okay. I know. You said he's gone. I get it. Okay. Well, let's see. Any last words, ladies?
Happy just November remind of our listeners too that oh my gosh, daylight savings, is that what it's called or whatever, that's this weekend. So get ready.
Pull your clock back, get an extra hour of sleep, and you're 54 days away from Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I seen so much Mariah Carey today, it's not even funny.
They say the happiest people put their Christmas decorations up early or have already started. So mine's up.
You're lying.
Well, to be honest, it's been up since last year.
So you just had to take it down.
It's in my basement. We did a lot of travel. Like we got into sports travel last year. And then by the time we said, okay, let's clean our basement. And we just really haven't been in it. We just kind of left it up and said, cleaned around it and said, okay, we're going to take this down next weekend when we have an opportunity. Next weekend didn't come because we were traveling. And then now it's like almost that time. And I feel like, hey, it's Christmas time. So I might as well leave it up. Maybe I'll change out some decorations and, I should have put different things up with the seasons. Footballs, Easter eggs, basketballs, hockey sticks.
Yeah, can't be doing. Nope. We got a bigger house than we used to have, but I can't have a tree up in the house all year round. And
it's in the basement. If it was upstairs, it would have been out the house. So it's in the basement living area. So,
but it will be here before you know it.
With your Mariah Carey music?
Yep. That and Baby Bova's birthday is this in December as well. So about to be broker than broke. Broker than usual.
Wait, her birthday's when?
The 21st of December.
Oh, okay. I got
she's gonna hate that when she gets older.
It might not be that bad, depends.
Not with her family. Her family, no, they're gonna spoil the heck out of her.
I got holiday baby. This year, her birthday is on Thanksgiving. And then the other one, her birthday is December 29th.
Oh.
So think about who's really gonna be broke. See, back-to-back birthdays and a holiday in between that. Yeah.
Both mine fell in spring, April, May. So smack in the middle of the year. I didn't really have to worry about all that. So.
All right. So let's see. You want to blow him a kiss? Everybody, thank you for tuning into the Sports Talk Show. Well, oh, really? She's trying to give y'all some kisses. There you go. Give them a kiss. Tell them thank you for tuning into the Platform Sports Talk Show. Of course, I'm with the host, Bunny, and I have a wonderful panel with Joe
Chili.
And we got another wonderful panelist. Miss Shirley, you see it? You say hi? Why you looking at her like that? Yeah. And of course, oh, you're missing Coach Willis. She had to step away, but she still gets her love. Yeah. And tell me we're always on the first Wednesday of the month. Yeah. And Miss Dub is bringing your kids back. And don't forget, everybody can tune into the archive show on the Roku channel. And also we have listeners on Hot 365 Radio. Yeah, Hot 365 Radio. Yeah. And we also have the Man Cave. They're on the last Wednesdays of the month. And you know, on the Man Cave, the fellas hold it down. They think they're better than us ladies, but you know how us ladies do in there, right? Yeah. And we get shout out to the producer, Smooth. Yeah, you want to say Smooth? You say Smooth? Okay. And one more person wants to say hi before we sign off. You want to give kisses as well? No? Okay. All right. And sorry, I forgot to mention about YouTube as well. We're also on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Platform Sports Talk Show. Okay. All right. Tell everybody thank you for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Artist Flavor Flav.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs burst, stinging there, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave? Or the land of the free and the